Coordinator. The purpose of tonight's forum is to inform our students, parents, guardians, and the larger community about things happening in our schools and our plans for the 2021-22 school year. To that end, tonight we'll be hearing results from our recent parents and student surveys, answering questions submitted to us from the community, and we'll hear from Superintendent Wallin, as well as the school district's department heads and school principals who will be updating us on what's happening in their respective schools and departments. We will hear first from Superintendent Wallin, who will tell us about the district's vision for moving forward this year as we recover from the challenges of last year. Take it away, Mr. Wallen.
Thank you, Steve. Good evening. Greetings from Page Unified parents, students, and community. Thank you for joining our community forum so that we can build a foundation of understanding the challenges and opportunities we face in education. I ask for your excuse a little bit because I've had a severe allergy attack all day, and so I'm moving forward as best I can. Last year, we were in the responding mode to the constant challenges of COVID. In-person, virtual, in-person, virtual, hybrid, you name it, we were in that response. Our favorite phrase was, we have to pivot to ensure the safety of our students. Pivot, we did, and we did it again. So we have spent time healing, evaluating learning, restoring our community by reflecting on what happened and getting ready for what's ahead. And that's the critical piece of what we're talking about, what's ahead. Now we are reinventing and reimagining schooling by listening to our communities. We are systematically growing best practices and structures and capabilities toward our local vision of an A school district. Let me take a moment to recognize some of our celebrations. Our schools have opened to in-person learning this school year. 2,350 students are in attendance. 2,350 students, wow. We've opened a new online academy, Sage and Sand Virtual Academy for students in grades K through 12. And there's over 110 students enrolled in the virtual academy. Last year, when we had state testing come up, we had 85% of our students participate in state testing. They had to do that online, so they had to come to school. So what a tremendous event. Thank you, students. Thank you, parents. We can identify multiple accomplishments from students in the areas of academics, extracurricular activities, and athletics. Last winter, one of the hardest decisions I had to make was letting our coaches and student athletes step forward in basketball and start participating. And you know what they did? They gave Page communities 2 basketball AIA state championships. 2 state championships, boys and girls, in 1 year. This year, the fall sports are in full swing. I just read in the paper yesterday that the soccer team won the game they had this week. Last Friday, a real hero stepped forward. Desert View Principal Josh Brink was named Teacher of the Year for Coconino County, a true hero. All of this is possible because of dedicated, heroic teachers, staff, and leaders who are now a part of Page Unified School District. We are defining the pathway to an equitable learning environment for all students. Let's build that pathway by focusing on the following updates from our departments and school sites. And now, Ms. Wood.
Good afternoon. My name is Jeannie Wood, and I am the Director of Federal Programs at PUSD. COVID-19 has deeply impacted the community of Page. Coronavirus relief funds have been made available to provide us with fiscal resources to help meet our needs. On the onset of COVID, we were asked to consider our planning in 3 stages: relief, planning and preparation, and recovery. The theme associated with our efforts last year was PUSD building connections. Our needs were vast. We focused on the areas of technology, addressing food insecurity, developing opportunities for online learning, fostering social and emotional well-being, and maintaining student equity. The latest installment of ESSER 3 funds asks us to consider how we will respond, recover, and reinvent. PUSD received $4.6 million in ESSER 3 funding, and these monies will be available to us through September 2024. As we prioritize our needs, We have asked our schools to think about their programming from the lens of providing access to a well-rounded education with a focus on STEM or STEAM for both in-school and outside of school learning opportunities. Our theme for the school year is PUSD, Strengthening Connections. As we continue to heal as a school district and larger community, we better understand the need for reflection, shared responsibility of the work ahead, and the need for stronger family and community engagement. We understand the need for ongoing dialogue regarding the usage of these funds. Thank you for listening in on the forum, for completing surveys, and for asking questions regarding our programming. We look forward to the continued conversation as we reimagine programming at PUSD. And now Abraham will share our latest survey results with all of us. Abraham?
Hello, thank you. So I'm going to start sharing my screen here, sorry. So yes, I'm Abraham. I am the coordinator of assessment and program evaluation, and I will be going over the survey results from the parent survey. There were about 120 responses. There were 26 questions within the survey, and as Jeannie said, the questions were surrounding the health and safety protocols, the technology access and use here, PUSD, as well as the support offered by our district and the educational experiences of our students. I will be going over these results very overview. I'm not going into super detail. It is just an overview. The results will be provided at our website. The conclusion of the student survey is October 1st, so that is when we will be able to post those results. So in terms of support, what we have found is that while the majority of people are satisfied, the blue and red area do represent about 65 to 70% of people satisfied with the supports in these different areas: food, childcare, mental and emotional health support, and technology and internet support. So we are still about 70% satisfied, but we still have about 25 to 30% in some areas where people are dissatisfied with that support. In terms of technology, we do see much stronger agreement here that they have technology, they have devices available to them. And the only kind of negative here is that people cannot print at home. That is kind of the only finding that we see here. But other than that, everyone seems very capable of attending classes at home and logging into their classes at home currently. But again, we still have about 15 to 20% in strong disagreement in that area. In terms of health and safety, we do see that there is major concern or there is high concern of students getting sick. And we can kind of see that that concern is there because there is no strong agreement in terms of knowing what the health and safety protocols are and what to do when there is a positive case. So that is just more of a communication piece that we have to work on in order to get this, in order to get parents feeling that their child won't get sick at school. In terms of the educational experience, it was a very mixed bag, in meaning that we didn't see strong dissatisfaction, we didn't see strong satisfaction. It was kind of even across the board in terms of the educational experience that our students had last year. The one thing that we can pull from this is that people do have a belief that in-person school is a better learning environment for their students. And that is it. Now Lionel will speak to the results or speak to the supports that he will be providing with his department.
Yeah, Abraham, thank you. Yate, Shea, Lionel So, Yanishia, B. Patoni Nishla, Hishkanzo, Hobashichin, Klizafunda, Dashachedo, Kintlachini, Dashanale. Yate, once again, thank you, community members, for joining us tonight. Before I begin, one thing that our office has worked on that we are trying to implement this year and the years to come is a land acknowledgement. And this is just a way of acknowledging the indigenous people of the land acknowledging that Page Unified School District is on Indigenous land, and it just helps our students feel like they have a sense of belonging. So here's the land acknowledgement statement. Today, Page Unified School District rests on the ancestral lands of the Dene and Paiute. We acknowledge that the people who resided here for generations and recognize the spirit of the Dene and Paiute people permeates this land. As a district, we will continue to build upon our relations with the First Nations of this land. So with that, I'll move on to a little bit of what we have here at Native Language and Cultural Programs. First of all, like I said, my name is Lionel So. I am the coordinator of Page Unified School District Native Language and Cultural Programs, formerly known as Indian Education. I am from the community of Lichee. I'm a graduate of Lichee Preschool, a graduate of Lakeview, Page Middle School, and Page High School. So I'm glad to be back in my community and glad to serve our students, glad to serve our community, my community. And so I'm just glad and honored to be here. As the coordinator of Native Language and Cultural Programs, we strive to serve our students, our Native students, and our Native families. We have programs such as Johnson O'Malley that helps support our Navajo language programs and classes. We have some excellent Navajo language teachers here at Page High School and Page Middle School, and we look forward to expanding in the future next year to the to Desert View Intermediate and Lakeview Primary, and eventually, hopefully, we'll have a Navajo language immersion program. So that's the plans that we have here. Our JOM program also supports our Native families by providing parental cost assistance with school supplies. We pay for a pair of eyeglasses per year for our Navajo students with the CIB. So please feel free to contact us. All of our information is on our website. And also we have a Facebook page. So please give us a look. One other program that we have is Children's Incorporated, which is also another sponsorship program that supports our Navajo students or our Native students. And I'm sorry, this one actually serves all students that may need assistance financially. And so once again, if you have questions on that, you can look on our website or you can give us a call. And the big thing that a lot of parents have been keeping us busy with is the Navajo Nation School Clothing Program. The registration is still open. We've had a chance to go out to Lichee chapter a couple times and do a registration for our parents out there. But we are available to do that Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Just give us a call. That way it helps us give a open time slot for you to come in and fill out all the necessary paperwork. We'll give you your letter of enrollment. We'll even give you an envelope. Everything will be ready to take right over to the post office and mail it off. So please come by and give us a visit. It's an excellent program. They're giving out $250 per student this year. We were also glad to help out with the parent survey. We distributed our survey. It was a good exchange. We were helping parents register for the Navajo School Clothing Program, and at the same time, we were asking our parents to take the parent survey. So we did get some good feedback from those parents who live out in the outer communities on the reservation that may not have had a chance to log online and take the survey. So that's one of our efforts, is to always get the input of all of our families. And so once again, thank you, Ahe, for your time. And now on to Brian.
Actually, I know Peter did show up, so we're going to go to Peter.
Now on to Peter.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Peter Jones. I'm the COVID-19 medical coordinator for the school district. A little bit what I do for the school district. I advise the school board and the superintendent on COVID-19 mitigation strategies, focusing on what the Arizona Department of Health, what Coconino County Health and Human Services, and the Navajo Nation, what their guidance and into mitigating the COVID-19, the spread of COVID-19 in our schools. I also work on contact tracing. I'm the lead contact tracer for the school district. I have a team of 4 other professionals at the school who help and assist me with all that. I also work with, as I mentioned, the Navajo Nation. I attend a weekly meeting with the Navajo Nation Epidemiology Center, and they give advice and counsel on how to best, stop the spread of COVID-19. We have working with even in local leaders as well to make sure that we protect our students at Page Unified School District. If you want more information about COVID-19, about how the school's doing, how many cases we have, how many tests are we doing to protect our students, just go to the school district website, and you'll find all that information posted on, even on the front page. You can see where our school is doing with our COVID-19 cases. It's broken down by the schools and by the staff, and that's all available on the school district's website. And if you ever have any questions, my number is also on there, or you can email me about anything that's about COVID-19, about what the school is doing to protect the kids. And I just want to review shortly about some of our key mitigation strategies. The first, really, as outlined by the CDC, is to promote receiving the COVID-19 vaccine. As a community, our community, Page community, we have a high percent of our population that is fully vaccinated, and that is a very good thing, And so we have many opportunities for our staff, for our students. We could coordinate that with the Coconino County Health Department to provide that service and to receive the vaccine. We also work with the Navajo Nation, and you can see that either on our social media sites or on the district website for more information of options to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. Also, another main mitigation strategy is distancing. Masking is not required, but is recommended. And another, just want to talk to the parents. If this is a really helpful, and I think our parents do really well with this. I just want to send out a quick reminder: if your student is sick, they need to stay home, and either if they do have those COVID-19 like symptoms, stay home. The school district does provide free testing for our students and for our staff. And if your student is ill, you can email me, and you can find that email on the district website, and we can coordinate and have them get tested. You just bring your student it'll be the CAB parking lot, for example, and we'll come out and test your student. And that's a free service for all of our students and staff. But if there is someone sick, we want them to stay home and protect the rest of the students that are going to school. And that is really about it for COVID-19. The school district, we adhere to all the CDC guidelines, to the Coconino County guidelines, and really safety is our first priority. And that is about it for COVID-19. I think we'll pass it off to Brian.
Thank you, Peter. My name is Brian Ostrink, and I am the Technologies Director here at Page Unified School District. It's been an exciting year in technology. We were able to, last year, go from a from a roughly 1-to-1 in-school situation to a 1-to-1 out-of-school situation. Each of the 3rd through 12th graders, plus Sand and Sage, and our Sage and Sand, sorry, and Mansa Mesa, we're giving a HP Chromebook. These Chromebooks came in a bag with the student's name on them. One of the things that I would recommend is just to make sure and keep that in the bag as much as possible when you're not in use. Just helps with damage and other possible problems with the device. One of the things we have done this year is we have insured our fleet of devices. So if any problems occur with your student's device, make sure they bring it in or let their teachers know, and we'll get that switched out right away. We have some extras and we'll be flipping those out and sending those in for repair as quickly as possible. One of the other things following Peter's discussion that you can look at is tomorrow, my staff and I will be bringing a cleaning kit that finally came in around to each of the schools. One of these per student. It is filled with a fully organic, non-poisonous spray. One of the things you want to do when you clean either a Chromebook or at Lakeview, an iPad, there's a small brush in there. You can do this at home too with any kind of brush, but this brush is a static brush. So just go ahead and clean the device off. Always remember to take your cleaning spray and spray it on your rag first. Then clean your device, your keyboard, your screen. If you do this about once a week, that's sufficient. You can do it more than that. What researchers have found is that a keyboard in a 1 week time can store up to 480 different kinds of virus. So these are just continued medical things that we can help provide to help you keep yourself and your children safe. Our number is, of course, open. We can help you. There are 4 or 5 different ways now to get internet at your home. We are looking at participating in the Emergency Connectivity Fund, which will allow us to get both equipment and hotspots for homes. There is the private use of the Network Connectivity Fund. That is, they have opened up a private application window. We can help you with that. You can also talk to your internet service provider in the area. That could be Verizon, NTUA, Frontier. All of these providers participate in the FCC free internet campaign. So please give us a call and let us know of any concerns you may have. 928-608-4149. And that information is also on the website. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. Yat Eshe Geraldine Clark in Chia. Our office coordinates a Friday food program with St. Mary's Backpack Program, the local food bank, and local communities. The program provides food that include non-perishable items, food, and items that we add is also fresh nutritional foods. Sometimes families have hardship and cannot purchase food for their family. Contact us and we will support you and your family.
Virginia Fight Horse Station, paid school district liaison office provides service for our students and needs. We give out backpacks. The hot up alle alchinik in azo. Give hot all chinin de jaho. Olka ikonas mili utrade nihlo. We also provide showers and laundry service for students who do not have running water at home. Ikon aqua de trada de giso. Betrayada hot ahon jono olka net long akontrada de giso. Olka hit kasha. We provide hygiene products. On the second-hand clothing for students and families. The PE go that the short that then go sometimes family have hardships and cannot purchase these items and services. Contact us at this number right here, and we will support you and your families. Even yakon hit I don't get it out now book and the house in the door he has done where but can nature to let
Hello, I'm Tasha Williams, Director of Student Support Services. We wanted to take this opportunity to introduce ourselves and say how happy we are to have your children back at PUSD this school year. We are here to listen and provide support if you are experiencing any difficulties or stressors as parents. We can coordinate and do referrals with outside agencies, both in Page and the Navajo Nation.
Hi, I'm Carolina Keems, the district social worker. We are here for you and your students. Please give us a call, even if all you need is someone to talk to, and this is the phone numbers listed on here.
Thank you so much for your time this evening, and I'm so glad to pass it on to my great colleague, Robert. Thank you.
Oh, good evening, everyone. My name is Robert Buchanan. I'm the Food Service Director for Page USD. Let me pull this up a little bit. There we go. I'm excited to bring nutritious meals to students in the community of Page, Arizona. This year, we want to focus on sustainable dining options for all students. I'd also like to bring more variety, nutritious, sustainable variety to our menu. We are currently feeding approximately 12 to 1,400 students right now. And I do welcome input from parents and the community on how to add variety to our current menus. With that said, I would like to invite parents and the community to visit our online menu. Let me share my screen with you so you can kind of see what that looks like. Okay, so this is our website for Page Unified School District. At the very top here, you see the web address, which is pageusd.nutrislice.com. Once you get to that website, what you can do is you can choose your respective school. Okay, and once you choose your respective school, you click on it. Okay, I'm going to use Desaview as an example, and you could choose whether you want to see breakfast or lunch. And then if you click on breakfast as an example, when you go in, you can actually see where we're actually serving students at that particular school for breakfast. Okay, same thing for lunch. If you want to know what's being served for lunch, you can view that as well. Give it a second to go. There we go. And you can see lunch as well. If you really want to know about the nutritional value, you can look at the carb counts here. And you can print out a copy of this menu and post it on your refrigerator. If you're a planner like I am, that way you can kind of see whether or not you want to, if your child wants to dine with us, which I hope they do, or maybe if you want to include a sack lunch for them. Either way, just give you the option to see what your child is actually eating here at the high school or middle school or elementary school. And so if there's any questions, comments, or concerns about the menu, if your child have allergens that needs to be recognized, please contact me here. I'm in the nutrition office at Page USD. My phone number is area code 928-608-4102. Again, that's area code 928-608-4102. 4102. Again, I'm excited to bring new menus and sustainable nutrition to the students. So please reach out to me and let me know what that looks like for you and your child. And with that said, now I'd like to reintroduce Abraham Rodriguez, who will be discussing student surveys.
Thank you, Robert. I'm going to start sharing my screen now. Again, sorry about that. So again, this is going to be another kind of high-level overview, not going into too much detail. I've chosen some results that kind of represent the results for that category. We had 837 responses to the student survey as of Monday. That survey is still ongoing. It will close October 1st. Again, we will be posting the results of this and the parent survey as well to our school website once those have kind of closed out. There will also be a board presentation of the results at a later date to be determined. So there's 25 questions to this survey. And this survey in particular kind of revolved around last year's experience from students. And again, they were regarding health and safety procedures, technology access and use, the support offered by our district, and their educational experiences. So in terms of health and safety, we do see some concern in terms of getting sick at school. It's not as high as it was in the parent survey, but there is still some concern. There is some concern about people following the rules 100% of the time. And we do see that students see that other students are the ones that aren't necessarily following the health and safety protocols. In terms of technology, this falls very similarly to the parent survey in that the vast majority this represents about 75-ish% of people feel that it is very true that they have access to Wi-Fi, they have access to devices, and they have access to their schoolwork. Once again, printing at home is not really an option for most everybody at our school district at this time. In terms of student support, so while the vast majority, or the majority, I'll still say about 70% of students feel that they are supported at school, we do still have this 6% that don't feel supported at all. And so that is something that we need to close the gap on and something to work towards. But overall, we do see that students do feel supported by our school, by their school and their school district. In terms of educational experiences, there was dissatisfaction with educational experiences last year. And I'm sure that had to do a lot with technology and just certain things that didn't align, the changing of modalities of school from being in person to hybrid to out of person kind of threw a lot of things out of whack for a lot of people last year. But we are working to correct that and have a good school year this year. As you can see here, while the majority of people or students indicated that they learned a lot or some last year, there's still pretty significant amount, about 30, almost 40% of students that feel that they learned little or nothing last year. And that is, again, this is just a sampling of the results that we received, but all in all, most of the results were in the positive direction, with some room for improvement. I will now pass it off to Beth Jasmine to give her presentation.
Thank you, Abraham. My name is Beth Jasmine, and I am the Special Education Director for the district. Special education is a system designed to provide services and supports across a continuum to students who are found to be eligible for special education services. Our goal is to level the playing field so all students have access to the general education curriculum. The process for finding a student eligible for services begins with a referral from a parent, teacher, staff member, and we do get referrals from pediatricians. First thing we do is discuss what types of interventions have been tried, what has worked for the student, and what didn't. If interventions aren't successful, the team would recommend an evaluation designed to look at the areas of need. If a student qualifies, an individual education plan or IEP is created. The IEP guides all teachers and staff to provide accommodations and services so the student can succeed in the general education curriculum to the best of their ability. Services are provided from preschool through high school. They can include extra teaching support from special education teachers, speech therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy, counseling, teachers of the visually impaired and hearing impaired. Services may be provided on an itinerant basis, push in by the special education teacher, pull out services to reteach and enrich up to a full day in a special education classroom, depending on how the student learns best. And I'll turn it over to Erminia.
Thank you, Beth. Good evening, everyone. I am Erminia Tenpenny, the ELL and Gifted Services Coordinator. We've hit the ground running this year, so excited to be fully back in person, providing classroom support for both our EL and gifted students. We're using a cluster model for Gifted Services K-5 and the ADE approved pullout model for our EL student supports K-12. The secondary gifted supports include honors class options and student progress monitoring consultation. We have our first round of family engagement nights coming up for our EL families next month and can't wait. The gifted program is also gearing up for another successful year of Odyssey of the Mind competitions and coding opportunities through code.org curriculum and Spheroboat robots. A survey is planned for secondary students to determine their interest in deeper enrichment opportunities to grow our gifted offerings at that level. Thank you for trusting us with your students' education. And I will turn it over to Trina at Mansa Mesa.
I'm Dr. Trina Hubble. There's Chitney and Shlim, but the Abash's Chin, Tabaha Dashache, Twahana Idashanala. I am the principal at both Manson Mesa High School and Sage and Sand Virtual Academy. Manson Mesa is an alternative school whose mission it is to create a small, individualized learning environment to support students behind in credits. Manson Mesa School offers in-person learning. Students have live synchronous instruction in ELA, math, and fine arts in a block schedule. We offer an online component for science and social studies through Edgenuity. The credit requirements at Manson Mesa is 22 credits. This year, we are providing social emotional learning. Throughout the day, we'll focus on developing student agency through goal setting, personalized instruction, and monitoring of student achievement on a regular basis. We offer after-school enrichment with our band program. We are pleased to announce the second year of Sage and Sand Virtual Academy, located within Manson Mesa High School in the Page Unified School District. Thank you for your ongoing and outpouring of support for Sage and Sand Virtual Academy. This school year, we have added SSVA Elementary grades K through 5. We anticipate that as information is shared, we hope to grow the school even more. Sage and Sand Virtual Academy is an online school whose mission it is to create a quality virtual learning environment to support students seeking to complete school requirements from home. Sage and Sand Virtual Academy is an academic program that provides a challenging, nurturing, and student-centered learning environment that promotes independence while celebrating the uniqueness of each student. We are designed for students who are seeking original credit to meet graduation requirements through goal setting, personalized instruction, and monitoring of student achievement on a regular basis. When coupled with our district resources, we believe SSVA can provide our students with a high-quality online learning experience. It is a partnership between the school and families to assure student success in an environment that demands a high level of organizational skills and time management. We offer English tutoring for SSVA students from 4 to 6 p.m. Thank you for this opportunity to share my message, and I look forward to seeing you at the Manson Mesa and Sage and Sand Parent-Teacher Conferences on October 7th. Ahiye, and now Mrs. Martin.
Hello to our PUSD community and Sand Devil Nation. As your Page High School principal, I'm so happy to have our students back on campus. It's been refreshing to interact with them around campus during passing periods and in our classrooms. Our top priorities continue to be a safe campus that's conducive to learning at high levels. We currently have almost 800 students in enrollment, and I am grateful for the trust that you, our parents, have extended to us to educate your students. Our mission continues to be to empower our students through a rigorous and relevant education so that every graduate from Page High School is college, career, and community ready. We also are an AVID school. This means that we strive on the daily basis to teach students how best to learn. This allows them to reach their full potential and have various options after high school. Another commitment that we have to our students is that their learning meets their needs and moves them closer to their goals, both during high school and after. One of the practices we use to determine student needs is achievement data. And this year, our students will be taking quarterly tests, or we call them benchmarks. These tests allow our students to demonstrate their mastery level of the standards. And these are the standards that were taught in our classrooms as part of our adopted curriculum in reading, math, and science. Students are currently taking these tests this week and next for the first quarter, and we'll take them again toward the end of each quarter, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. The test system that we use, it's pretty cool. It allows our teachers to get instant results. So our teachers are already looking over the achievement levels of their students and adjusting their plans for second quarter learning. Another thing that's going on at Page High School is that we are rebuilding our site council this year. Our site council does need parent representatives. And if you're interested in being a parent representative, attendance at our next open meeting is required. That meeting is September 27th here on our Page High School campus, and it begins at 4:15. I do ask you to check out our district and school website. There's always cool and interesting things posted, videos and pictures about the things that our students are involved in. And if you have Facebook, please follow us at Page Unified School District and at Page High School Sand Devils. Now I would like to introduce our Page High School Assistant Principal, Lee Gunther. He's going to share some information about parent-teacher conferences, as well as some other programs and information.
Hello, Sand Devil Nation. We seem to be having some technical difficulties. Things that we need to know and understand coming up for Page High School. We'll be doing parent-teacher conferences on Monday, October 4th from 6 to 8 p.m. and on Thursday, October 7th from 1 to 4 p.m. We currently offer tutoring, and we will continue to offer tutoring throughout the school year. It will be Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays after school until 4:30. And we will have our teachers available to help any student that has any needs with any of their core subject areas. We are also in full swing with our fall sports, and our clubs are currently getting started. So we encourage you to have your students, your children, get involved with the club activities so that they have a full rounded opportunity into high school. And it's my pleasure now to introduce Ms. Wanda Burton, the middle school principal.
Yate, and welcome to all our community members, families, and friends. Page Middle School is excited to offer new clubs, programs, and transform the learning environment. In our semester schedule, we embedded a skills class that allows all students to participate in social emotional learning and acceleration of English language arts standards. In our 50-minute period of skill development, our students are modeled for and engaged in social skills that are not found in academic curricula. They have focused on topics such as bullying, kindness, and empathy. Our teachers get to the heart of every student. After this 25-minute lesson, students will transition to an acceleration class. In their grade level, the language arts teachers have identified some priority standards that are essential for comprehension in all content areas. For 3 weeks, students focus on academic vocabulary and scaffolded skills to access the learning outcomes before the standard is taught in the language arts class. This makes core class more effective the first time and less reteaching afterwards. Our social studies teachers will also be enriching students with a once-a-week lesson in the Foundations in Personal Finance, real life skills for today and the future. After our school clubs and sports, we have strong and exciting changes in the middle school level. Sports for middle school students are available to all grades. Football is the only sport that is restricted to 7th and 8th graders. Also, our sports seasons have been adjusted to quarterly seasons so that our teams in the playoffs can still have their players ready for the beginning of the next sports season. Our students are happy to be on campus and with their friends. To support their enthusiasm at lunch recess, we are installing 3 permanent Frisbee golf cages on the upper field, 2 tetherball poles, and adding a volleyball net to the center basketball court. Healthy bodies and minds are the focus of Page Middle School. We ask you to help us with site-based decision-making by participating in our site council. Our first meeting will be Thursday, September 30th at 5 p.m. in the school library. Thank you for sharing your students with us. I will now pass it over to Desert View Intermediate with Principal Stahl.
Good evening and welcome parents and community members. I'm Mary Stahl, the principal of Desert View. Our mission is to provide a safe, well-rounded experience that motivates, challenges, and supports all students academically, socially, and emotionally. Thank you for trusting us to educate your child. Desert View has some new teaching resources that we're happy to have this year. Envision Math, Generation Genius for Science and Math, and Freckle. These resources are used to teach our essential standards. We are accelerating learning every day through small group instruction in math and reading. We are also using Accelerated Reader this year, which encourages reading growth. In order for this to work, students need to read books independently at their just right reading level. We've scheduled some time in the school day after recess for students to read for 15 minutes. We also need you to encourage your child to read at home for at least 15 minutes a day. We want all of our students to read at or above grade level, and the only way to become a better reader is to read. Parent-teacher conferences are scheduled for October 7th. Please schedule a time to meet with your child's teacher, and your child's teacher should be reaching out to you soon. Our first site council meeting is on September 29th from 4:30 to 5:15 at Desert View. We will be reviewing our mission and vision statements and our current integrated action plan. I would love for you to be a part of this team. If you're interested, call the office and let us know. Kevin Anderson, the assistant principal of Desert View, will now tell you about some after-school programs and activities at Desert View.
Yate, good evening and hello to our Page community, Page Unified School District community. As Ms. Stahl said, I'm here to talk about our extracurricular programs that we will be starting up pretty soon. These programs are to address the academic and social and emotional needs of our students and focus on the acceleration of student learning and provide grade level activities. Now, these extracurricular programs are very exciting. Just this past week, we started a survey among our staff to see what kind of programs they'd like to run. We've got a couple of responses so far. These after-school programs will be running Monday, Tuesday, and or Thursday. And those who are running the programs have the opportunity to pick which days they want to run their programs. And our students will be able to ride the 4:30 activity bus. And that time is from 3 to 4:30 for those programs. Now, it's very exciting. We have a couple of these programs that have already started at Desert View. We have our beginning and advanced ukulele clubs and the Groove Cats Club. And those clubs are run by our Coconino County Teacher of the Year, Mr. Josh Brink. We're excited about those. And the Groove Cats are planning a community concert sometime within the next couple months. And the responses that I've received so far is we have one staff member that wants to do a writing and math program. And then we have another teacher that wants to start a STEAM program. And STEAM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. And so be looking for information from your students to be coming out within the next week or two about potential programs and opportunities for your students. And these programs may run in the morning from 7:15 to 7:45 as well. And so that's what we have to look forward to here at Desert View Intermediate. Now I will send it down to Mr. Henderson at Lakeview.
Friends, parents, community members, welcome and thank you for joining us. My name is Brian Henderson. I am the assistant principal at Lakeview Primary School. And I suppose if there are a couple of things that I really feel are important for you to know about us, we believe that relationships are at the core of everything we do. We believe that students learn best when they trust their teacher and when they feel safe and comfortable and welcome. We also work towards recovery for our students, for our families, and for our staff, recovering from the past year and a half and the various educational experiences that we have all had. If you are interested in connecting with us, we have a variety of forums for that. Our first site council meeting was September 15th, but it is not too late to join. Our next one will be October 13th. And then we will meet every 4 weeks, the fourth Wednesday from there for the duration of the school year. We also have an active parent-teacher organization. At our last family partnership experience event, which was amazing, by the way, we had a sign up for our parent-teacher organization, and we had 60 people sign up to be a part of that. Consider that a great success. Our next family event will be the Fall Festival, always a big hit here at Lakeview, and that is scheduled for Friday, October 29th from 5 to 7. Another important way to connect is to attend parent-teacher conferences. There are 2 opportunities for you to do that. You may join us October 6th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. if that fits your schedule, or you can join us Thursday, October 7th from 1 to 4 o'clock p.m. Whatever works best for you. And if none of those times are convenient for you, you can always contact the school and set up a personal conference with your child's teacher after school hours occur. A couple of other cool things coming up that you need to be aware of. We're having a book fair the week of October 4th. You can come into the library before school or after school with your child and purchase books during the book fair, or your child will have the ability to purchase books during their scheduled library time during that week. If there's anything else that I need to talk about, let me check my notes. I don't believe so. I think we've covered everything. Thank you all again for joining us, and I am going to pass it off to my good friend Penny Case, the director of Page Preschool.
Thank you, Mr. Henderson. Well, from birth to age 5, a child's brain develops more rapidly than at any other time in life. Research has shown that the connections needed for many important higher level abilities like motivation, self-regulation, problem solving, communication, and self-esteem are formed in these early years. High quality early learning experiences are essential for brain development. These experiences can have an enduring effect on intellectual and scholastic abilities and influence future learning capacities. A high quality early learning experience and supportive, responsive relationships provide the support children need to build a foundation for a healthy and productive future. Here at PUSD, we are pleased to offer a high quality program with high quality learning experiences. At Page Unified Preschool, our vision is every child, every family, every day ready to succeed. We are proactively working with our families and community to support the success of all. Our staff are actively enriching their knowledge, improving their craft, and removing barriers to learning so that all students can fully participate in the preschool curriculum. We are excited to be one of 5 schools in the state awarded the Comprehensive Literacy State Grant. This grant project aims at improving child literacy skills and instructional capacity on the science of reading. Be on the lookout for upcoming family activities that will focus on how you can use the science of reading in your own home to increase your child's literacy skills. We are also starting our monthly visits to Page Public Library. During these visits, our students participate in reading experiences that help to build a love of reading. We welcome parent involvement and engagement. Come visit our program and see how you can be involved. I'll now turn the time over to Page Unified School District Superintendent, Mr. Larry Wallen.
Thank you, Penny. To wrap up, oh my gosh, that first week in October 4th through 7th, you got all these parent-teacher nights. Get in there, get involved. Ask the question, is my son or daughter working at grade level? What do I need to do to get them at grade level? And that goes back to that literacy that you've heard talked about. A lot of things happening in your school district, amazing things. We had a few questions. I want to try to run through those. I've got 1 minute left. One of the questions was, what do you plan on doing to retain teachers this year? Well, first, as administrators, we're part of what's called Project Elevate. It's a leadership training program that is sponsored by the Arizona Department of Education and is required for all school districts who have underperforming schools. Project Elevate has 3 areas of focus: instructional infrastructure, culture and climate, and talent management, and includes with each of those areas rubrics of what best practices are. So the question goes to talent management. HR and talent management are both about managing people, but they differ in several areas. They differ in structure, responsibilities, and implementation. And that structure is about hiring and training and retention, which was centralized in HR, is now HR is a part of that, but the recommendation for hiring is from committees at each site. One of the critical pieces is having a fit so that the teachers there can identify and work with teachers, applicants for that fit. Responsibilities, HR is focused on administering payroll and stuff like that. Talent management about focused on developing our top talent. So the first step in improving that communication and retention was last evening. The talent management program had their first retention committee meeting. Retention committee has been formed, had its first meeting, and it's moving forward with tackling many of the critical issues that we see. Oh, a second question. What steps, if any, have you taken to improve communication between administration and teachers without fear of retaliation? Well, that's actually 2 questions, and that actually has a lot of presuppositions behind it. First, the idea of communication between the administration and teachers. Well, there's lots of communication. As you just heard, there's posting on PUSD website, page Facebooks, newsletters monthly with a letter from board members, sharing during open house and parent meetings, school messenger, radio spots, sharing with staff and families. I personally tried to submit a weekly update each week, highlighting some of the major happenings in our district. And one of the questions is, have you visited our website lately? Because we're going to be upgrading that website. Second is the concept of retaliation. I don't know anyone who's been retaliated against. If you mean the ability to throw darts at other employees, that without any accountability, that's not communication. That's not allowed. School board governing policy requires all employees. Remember, I have a contract to work for the board, requires all of us to direct any criticism of other staff members or of any department of the school system toward improving the district. Such criticism should be made directly to the school administrator who's in charge of that department and has responsibility for improving the situation. If you don't contact that person in charge, it's very difficult to make improvements that you're talking about. And then I also have taken the step and formed a superintendent's advisory council. We've had 1 meeting. We're supposed to meet tonight, but this allergy is driving me batty. So I'm not going to be good in an advisory committee if I'm batty. Another one was, what important issues that have been brought to your attention and the board's attention been dismissed due to technicalities and proper procedure for filing. Understand that the board is a legal entity. They're chartered under the Arizona Constitution, Article 6, Section 1, and they have the ability to legislate, to executive functions, and governing functions. And so they are a legal entity when the board is in session in a duly board notice meeting. And that's extremely important because the board is subject to open meeting law. I can go into all the details of the open meeting law and be happy to do that with you. But the bottom line is, If you mess with the open meeting law, then you're going to face the Attorney General of the state of Arizona. And it is a $500 fine per offense for each board member who fails to follow the open meeting law. So that technicality, if that means that it violates the open meeting law, yes, we're going to continue to dismiss complaints on technicalities. The best thing to do is pull a board policy, and there are extensive policies, and learn how to work through those processes just as everyone else is required to do. Wow, what a Page Unified School District. This is fantastic. So I'm very happy to close this meeting and have you reflect back. And of course, with YouTube, you can go back and watch the sections related to where your son or daughter's in school and move forward. Remember, we are on a pathway to an A district, grade level instruction, acceleration. Let's move forward. And it starts with you as parents. Thank you very much. Thank you for a great evening. Have a great time.